In our contemporary high-speed world, many people find themselves overwhelmed by the relentless pressure to keep up. The demands of daily life, both professional and personal, often result in an unavoidable buildup of tension and fatigue. Constant exposure to stress is known to be one of the leading causes of physical and mental ailments today, and it can lead to complex issues like anxiety, depression, and even physical illnesses. Stress affects the mind and body, diminishing our well-being and ability to find lasting joy. Thankfully, however, the teachings of ancient Taoist sages provide a path forward. These philosophical texts contain age-old wisdom that guides us on how to relieve tension, reduce stress, and find inner peace. For the Taoists, living in harmony with the natural flow of life is paramount. They believe that resisting this flow only leads to unnecessary difficulties. From their perspective, attempts to control, impose, or push against the grain of life do more harm than good. Forcing things often disturbs the balance of nature and creates greater obstacles. Taoist philosophy, rooted in simplicity and patience, encourages us to release the need for constant control and to find fulfillment in aligning with life as it unfolds naturally. When we look at the modern world, it becomes clear that most people are caught up in the idea of control and achievement, often forcing themselves toward goals and desires at any cost. Many of us feel like we must continuously strive for more, regardless of whether this aligns with our true needs or brings us genuine satisfaction. The relentless pursuit of success and control causes exhaustion and stress, further intensifying our sense of disconnection from ourselves. This stress doesn't only affect our minds but influences our physical health, adding to the risk of illness and deeper emotional troubles. Ancient Taoist teachings offer a refreshing alternative. These teachings propose that rather than fighting the current of life, we should embrace a gentler approach by flowing naturally with it. By observing and accepting what life presents, we can cultivate inner peace and harmony. Taoist sages suggest that if we align ourselves with nature, understanding its ebb and flow, we can live more peacefully without becoming entangled in struggles. In our fast-paced culture, the Taoist perspective is particularly valuable. Many of us are deeply attached to altering circumstances we can't control, like our external environment, the expectations of others, or societal norms. Often we seek happiness outside of ourselves, chasing status, material wealth, or approval from others. The Taoists, however, teach the importance of letting go, a concept that appears frequently in works like the Tao Te Ching and the Zhuangzi. These texts suggest that letting go of our need for control can reveal new paths to tranquility and insight. When we resist the natural flow, it's as if we are trying to swim upstream, exhausting ourselves without reaching any real destination. By choosing to release this struggle, we allow life to guide us toward a more balanced, peaceful state. Our tendency to chase after external happiness is another source of suffering. Laozi and Zhuangzi, two of the most revered Taoist thinkers, observed how people constantly look to the outside world to satisfy their desire for happiness, only to feel dissatisfied. Taoism encourages us to step away from these attachments, which only lead to disappointment, and to realize that true contentment comes from within. When we focus on cultivating inner peace and self-awareness, rather than seeking satisfaction in external achievements, we open ourselves to a richer, more meaningful experience of life. Taoist wisdom also urges us to accept that some things are beyond our control. For example, we may wish to manipulate our circumstances, avoid misfortune, or cling to success, but this clinging only creates tension and anxiety. Ancient Taoists understood that life is full of unexpected twists and turns. They believed that accepting the unpredictability of life, rather than resisting it, can free us from needless worry. When we relinquish control and allow ourselves to adapt to change, we cultivate resilience and reduce our vulnerability to stress. The concept of emptiness is another recurring theme in Taoist philosophy. Zhuangzi wrote about how the state of emptiness allows us to remain open and receptive, helping us to let go of judgments and attachments. When we free ourselves from the constant desire to achieve or to prove our worth, we feel lighter and less stressed. Instead of seeking approval from others, Taoist wisdom encourages us to appreciate the value of simplicity, to understand that many of the things we seek are illusions created by our mind. True tranquility, according to Taoism, comes from embracing emptiness and recognizing that the search for external validation often leads us further from our authentic selves. In the Taoist approach, taking time to observe and reflect is essential. Instead of reacting impulsively or trying to control our environment, we are encouraged to practice patience and mindfulness. Taoism teaches that in doing so, we can see the deeper currents of life, beyond the surface struggles, and align with them. This philosophy is not about abandoning all desires or goals, but finding a balanced way of approaching them without attachment or desperation. When we allow ourselves to flow with life, rather than struggling against it, we experience a profound sense of ease and contentment. Living by the Tao, or the Way, is seen as the ultimate antidote to the stresses of modern life. The Tao is a principle that represents the natural order of the universe, which operates on its own, without our interference. Trying to control every outcome only creates unnecessary tension, while trusting in the Tao enables us to relax and find peace. Through this practice, we understand that life itself is in constant motion, and that it will follow its path with or without our intervention. By learning to release, to stop chasing, and to embrace stillness, we discover a calm strength that can guide us through even the most chaotic times. Another antidote offered by Taoism is the choice to step back from the pursuit of happiness. Taoist wisdom reveals that happiness is not something we attain by force, but something we experience when we stop striving. Chasing after happiness, paradoxically, often makes it more elusive. Zhuangzi teaches that those who constantly seek happiness end up exhausted, feeling empty and unfulfilled. The Taoist path suggests finding joy in the journey, not in any destination, and realizing that contentment comes from within, not from chasing external rewards. Embracing the void or emptiness is a powerful way to achieve balance and freedom from attachment. Many people take pride in their achievements, but Taoism teaches that pride can weigh us down, creating expectations and dependencies. When we let go of these attachments and stop seeking constant validation, we reduce the mental clutter that causes stress. Emptiness offers clarity, a blank canvas where we can create a life centered around true purpose rather than shallow accomplishments. To live in harmony with the Tao is to adopt an inner law, a guide that does not rely on external approval or circumstances. This inner law is a constant, steady source of peace. Laozi describes this inner harmony as an anchor that keeps us grounded, unaffected by the highs and lows of life. When we rely on ourselves rather than seeking validation from the outside world, we free ourselves from the pressures of external expectations. This inner alignment allows us to respond calmly to the challenges that come our way, knowing that we can handle whatever life brings. Ultimately, Taoism encourages us to release our worries about the future. Many people are haunted by what might happen or fixated on avoiding potential failures. Taoist philosophy suggests that these fears are often greater than the reality they represent. Laozi teaches that it is not events themselves, but our reaction to them that creates suffering. By accepting the uncertainty of life and embracing the present moment, we find peace in letting go. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications for more insights on spirituality and personal growth. Thank you for watching, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.